Only 2 people 5'2" and under have conquered the warp wall this season. At 5 foot even, Casey Catanzaro scaled the wall in Dallas. At 5'2", Dustin McKinney joined her when he made his successful run in Miami. Raymond failed to conquer the wall in his qualifying run, but if he makes it to the top tonight, he'll be in some select company. There's his friends and fellow competitors, Vincent Clapper and Scott Maxson, the Jester, here to support Raymond. 5'2", 140 pounds, but this guy, big hops. He'll need it as the quintuple steps are nearly 5 feet apart.
When you have hops like Raymond Butler, we call that boosties.
All right, Ray, hang on.
Onto the rolling log, that's 24 feet of track he needs to hold on tight. Little bumpy dismount, but through the rolling log.
Let's go, Ray.
Now the bridge of blades, 19 feet from end to end. This one's all about agility. Speaking of agility, Raymond's an acro dunker for the Boston Celtics. Acro dunkers are the guys who put on an aerial dunking halftime show for the fans, so he knows a thing or two about mini tramps and performing in front of large crowds.
Yeah, for the finals course, though, the cargo net has been moved further away from the second row, so he'll need to keep his momentum going forward in order to reach it.
And he did just that. You can see a good use of the body to keep the rope's momentum going, and he's onto the cargo net.
There it is. Nice.
This guy played tennis from age 6 to 15. Also did taekwondo, practices Shotokan karate. He's a well-rounded athlete, I thought.
And remember, Matt, with this double tilted ladder, it can be very hard on the body. He's 5'2", now 140 pounds. You think that's light, but on this body frame, that's a little bit of weight there for his bone structure.
And like you said, 5'2" has to cross a 6-foot gap to the second ladder.
Oh, nice mistake.
The two-handed technique, he's used to throwing his body through the air, and it serves him well there.
That you knew that was going to come into place. At some point, he was going to use his skill set.
Well, you look at Butler's training, a lot of it in the legs. Now, couldn't get up the warp wall in qualifying. Let's see if he's figured it out here, just 5 feet 2 inches tall. And the wall towers above him at 14 feet. Of course, Casey Catanzaro, just 5 feet tall, was able to get up it, so it shows you technique's such a big factor. A little stumble there. Butler, one of 10 people in qualifying that made it to the warp wall, but failed to reach the top. Well, he's had weeks to think about it, weeks to imagine his technique in his mind.
If you can flip into some hands, you can flip on that.
Oh! Good jump, his hands were up there.
Wait, take a look at this. His fingers were right at the top of the wall, so close. Forget all the noise, man. Flip onto the top of that warp wall.
Final attempt for Raymond Butler on the warp wall.
Big-time players respond in big-time moments.
That's it! That's what I'm talking about!
That was impressive, Harper. That is big-time, prime-time, showtime, all-time, good time.
You saw his body falling away, but his hand wouldn't let go. Pulls himself up. Raymond Butler is now on to the extended part of the course.
All right, Ray, you got this, man.
On the Salmon Ladder, has to go up 4 rungs. The distance between each level is 12 inches. Oh! And Butler goes out on the very first rung.
Well, first the positive. After failing on the wall in qualifying, he got over it this time, but on the Salmon Ladder, just bad technique as his momentum took him backwards instead of up.
Just slip. But that water's cold, baby.